If you feel like your life isn't moving forward, it's not because you lack talent. It's because you're trapped in repeating patterns. You wake up with the same thoughts, do the same things, feel the same doubts, then wonder why everything feels stuck. Real change doesn't happen by chance. It starts the moment you force yourself to break the cycle. Once you do, your habits change. Your confidence grows, and your future begins to shift. But if you keep doing what's familiar, you'll stay locked in a life that never truly begins. Every day you follow a loop, one that you probably didn't choose. You drink the same coffee, complain about the same things, and live the same day over and over again. That loop didn't come from your dreams. It came from what's easy, what's safe, not from your potential, not from your greatness. The longer you stay there, the more it closes in on you. Romans 12:2 says, "Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." That's not a suggestion, it's a command. The world pushes you into cycles, but God calls you into growth. The danger is that these patterns don't scream out loud. They creep in quietly. One day blends into the next. Life becomes predictable, and predictable becomes comfortable. But comfort, when it goes unchallenged, turns into a cage. The most dangerous failure is the kind that looks normal on the outside. If you want to break free, the first step is awareness. You must recognize the silent routines that are shaping your results. Write them down, study them, replace them with habits that lead you to growth, not just repetition. Abraham Lincoln could have lived a life of defeat. He failed in business, lost elections, and battled depression, but he chose differently. He studied, he practiced, he changed his patterns, and in doing so, he changed the future of an entire nation. He didn't wait for change to find him. He became the change, and so can you. Understand this. The patterns you tolerate will quietly become the limits you live by. The moment you keep repeating something, it starts to define you. It becomes part of your identity. The mind doesn't need permission to settle. It just finds comfort and builds a home there. And before you know it, you're not choosing your life. Your life is choosing you. Proverbs 23:7 reminds us, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Not as he wishes, not as he hopes, but as he thinks." Your thoughts are not just noise in your head. They are builders, architects. They shape your decisions, your habits, your beliefs. If your thoughts are full of fear, excuses, or limitation, your reality will eventually match. And yet most people believe they're free. But real freedom is not about removing chains. It's about recognizing you have the power to choose something different. And if you never challenge your patterns, your freedom is an illusion. You're simply a traveler who never leaves the desert. Before we continue, if this message is waking something up inside you, pause for a second. Like this video, subscribe for more, and type enough in the comments if you're ready to break the pattern. The truth is, what you allow to continue will eventually take control. The habits you don't question start to shape the person you become. You don't even notice it at first. A small routine becomes a daily ritual. A belief turns into your identity. And the most dangerous part, it happens quietly, slowly, like water carving into stone. One day you look up and realize the life you're living isn't the one you wanted. It's just the one you settled for. The moment you get used to a pattern, your mind stops resisting. It adjusts. Like a wheel stuck in a dirt path, it keeps following the same line because it's easier than making a new one. And soon, you stop steering your life altogether. You let the pattern take over. You start calling it just how I am. That sentence, those 5 words, are one of the most damaging things you can ever say. This is just how I am is not a fact. It's a decision to stay stuck. You were never meant to live inside a loop. You were made to grow, to stretch, to evolve. But to do that, you have to get uncomfortable. You must interrupt the automatic habits that no longer serve you. That means waking up earlier than you feel like, choosing growth over gossip, silence over distraction, learning instead of numbing. These small changes add resistance to your comfort zone, and that resistance creates transformation. Growth doesn't happen in ease. It happens in tension. Just like muscles need weight to get stronger, your mind needs pressure to expand. And pressure doesn't mean chaos. It means intention. It means acting on purpose instead of by habit. Benjamin Franklin understood this. He didn't wait to stumble into greatness. He built a system to guide his days, a list of values, a daily journal, a focused routine. He didn't hope to be great. He created habits that pulled greatness out of him. You don't need to change everything overnight, but you do need to disrupt something. Start where your day feels automatic. Ask yourself, what am I doing without thinking? And is it serving the future I want? If not, change it. One habit, one routine, one thought at a time. When you break the rhythm, you start writing a new story. Not one built on survival, but on vision. Change doesn't start when life gets easier. It begins the moment you say, I'm done. Not in a loud outburst, but in a quiet, heavy moment when you realize you're tired of repeating the same day. There's a silent cry inside people who are fed up with living below their potential. It doesn't scream, but it weighs them down. It visits them in the middle of the night and greets them first thing in the morning. That pressure you feel in your chest, that's not weakness. It's your soul asking for more. Many people think they need a perfect plan to change. They don't. They need a breaking point, a moment of truth where the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of changing. That's when transformation begins. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. Your time for growth won't always wait for convenience. It shows up when your spirit can no longer tolerate comfort disguised as peace. Staying in the wrong job, the wrong habits, the wrong relationships, all of it becomes a slow kind of suffering. And yet, people stay, not because it's right, but because it's familiar. Comfort can become a hypnotist, and if you're not careful, it will lull you into a life you never meant to live. But everything changes when you say no more. That decision may not fix everything overnight, but it opens the door to everything you've been praying for. You don't need a huge leap. You need one small act of courage. Wake up an hour earlier. Clean that corner you've been ignoring. Start the project you've delayed. These aren't small things. They're signals. They tell your spirit, I'm moving again. Action brings momentum, and momentum brings power. Harriet Tubman didn't wait for freedom to come to her. She ran toward it. Not once, but again and again. She risked everything to rescue others. Not because it was easy, but because she decided her story wouldn't end in silence. You carry that same seed. The power to rewrite your life doesn't live in tomorrow, it lives in your next decision. What matters most isn't how far you are from where you want to be. It's whether you'll take one step, any step, toward it today. That discomfort you feel, it's not the enemy, it's the alarm clock of the soul. Answer it. Your destiny isn't shaped by the big decisions you make once in a while. It's shaped by what you do every single day. Repetition doesn't just fill your time, it molds your character. It becomes your default. The habits you repeat are like seeds. Whether you notice or not, they're growing into the results you see tomorrow. Galatians 6:7 says, do not be deceived, God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. This isn't just about morals, it's about motion. You're always planting something. The only question is what? If your daily pattern is chaos, don't expect your future to feel calm. If your rhythm is full of delay and distraction, don't expect excellence. What you consistently do, good or bad, is building something, and even if you can't see it yet, harvest day is coming. Most people don't fail because of one bad moment. They fail because they ignore the small patterns that are silently shaping their lives. That's where the real battle is, not in the big goals, but in the little choices that build or break your momentum. You don't have to wait for motivation to show up. You need to build an environment that supports your next level. Post your goals on the wall, clean your space, set reminders where your bad habits usually show up. The brain responds to cues. Change the cue and the behavior will follow. If your surroundings feel lazy, they'll feed your procrastination. But if they feel focused, they'll pull you forward. Thomas Edison could have accepted the labels others placed on him. As a child, his teachers said he wasn't smart enough to learn, but his mother believed otherwise. She created a new environment for him, one of curiosity, challenge, and belief. And Edison didn't waste it. He built a life of relentless discovery, ending up with over 1,000 patents. He didn't wait for the perfect idea to strike. He kept showing up every day, every test, every failure. and that's what lit the world. Your power lives in your rhythm. Your greatness is hidden in your repetition. Stop waiting for a lightning strike. Build your energy through daily focus. Every small, disciplined action is a step in the direction of your future. You don't need the best tools. You don't need the perfect plan. You just need to begin. Begin where you are. Begin with what you have. Begin again if you have to, but begin. You can't create a new life using the same old mindset. You can move cities, change jobs, meet new people, but if your inner patterns stay the same, your problems will follow you. Like a shadow, your thoughts will recreate the same struggles, just in a different setting. Matthew 9:17 says, "No one puts new wine into old wineskins." Translation, you can't pour a new future into an old belief system. If you want transformation, you must upgrade your foundation. Most people want a new outcome, but they're building on the same broken blueprint. They try to move forward without changing the story they believe about themselves. Who told you success wasn't for people like you? Who made you believe discipline wasn't your strength? These lies become the frame you build your life on, and if you don't tear them down, they'll keep showing up again and again. Start with your words. What you say becomes what you see. Speak about yourself like someone who's growing, not stuck. Speak with faith. Speak with vision. Then build habits that match your future, not your past. Wake up with intention. Study what matters. Surround yourself with energy that lifts, not limits. Design a routine that speaks to where you're going, not where you've been. Booker T. Washington was born into slavery with nothing but his will. No money, no status, no easy path, but he refused to follow the blueprint of his birth. He chose education. He chose discipline. He laid the bricks, literally and mentally, that became Tuskegee Institute. He didn't wait for the world to give him permission. He gave himself permission to rise. That same choice lives in you. The moment you choose to think differently, you open the door to live differently. Excuses are the voice of the pattern. They sound logical. I can't afford it. I'm not ready. I don't have time. But these aren't facts. They're fears in disguise. Romans 1:20 reminds us that creation has no excuse. Everything fulfills its purpose. The stars, the seas, the trees, they all move in alignment with what they were made to do. So why should you be the exception? Faith is the force that shatters the cycle. It doesn't wait for clarity. It doesn't wait for conditions. Faith moves before the map is drawn. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Evidence, not guesswork. When you walk in faith, you carry proof in your spirit before the world can see it with their eyes. Jim Thorpe, the Olympic athlete, had his shoes stolen right before a race. Did he give up? No. He found 2 mismatched shoes in the trash, stuffed a sock into one, and won gold anyway. He didn't have the perfect start, but he had the perfect mindset. That same grit is in you. You just have to unlock it. It's not about having every answer. It's about having a decision. Deuteronomy 30:19 says, "I have set before you life and death. Therefore choose life." Your power lives in the choices you make now, not next month, not when everything lines up. Now, the future is built by those who decide to act even when they don't feel ready. So take a look around, take a look within, and remember this: you're not stuck. You're being invited to build differently. Change the blueprint, break the pattern, and don't wait for destiny to show up. Create it one decision at a time.